What is the beast? If we're going to confront it, we got to know what it is. One thing that I like to say a lot is it's the lie you live by. Essentially, it's the identity that got formed in you as a method of survival in your adolescence or even younger, right? Something happens and a beast is formed to help us see, be seen, achieve, feel worthy, get accepted, stay out of danger. My name's Adam Kasich. I help high-performing men get free of their beast, confront their beast. They never really fully go away. I still got mine. They lurk, but they don't lead anymore. The biggest deal about confronting your beast is that once you do, it's a shadowy influence that's just beneath your conscious. So when you become aware of it and you see it and you can name it, what happens now is that you can lead instead of being led by it, right? It goes from running your life in the shadows and taking the throne of your life to you take that power back. A quick example I saw recently was on a documentary that they're doing on Netflix, and it's about the Earnhardt, right? The Intimidator. And then Dale Jr.'s in there a lot, but his father, Dale Sr., is what the documentary is about. It's very easy. They don't try to hide it. They don't call it his beast, but it was very easy to see Dale Sr.'s beast. And it was his father, Ralph, him needing to live up to what Ralph wanted him to do. Ironically, that's my dad's name, so I relate to that beast. He said that he called it chasing a ghost around the track all those years because his father died, right? So he's chasing this ghost around. Nothing he ever did was good enough, no matter how many championships he won. It was never good enough. Someone in the news right now in a sport that I'm a fan of is John Jones, and so mixed martial arts. And there's another example of someone whose beast demands them to be seen no matter what they believe about themselves. So I call that the uncrowned king. And this is a common thing for high-performing men over 30, who, especially if they have family lives, because we end up getting into this spot where we push and push to prove and validate just to try to feel like the king, because we truly don't. And that's why it's an uncrowned king, because no matter how many promotions you get, no matter how many belts you win, no matter how many the bank accounts and whatever, how low your handicap in golf gets, no matter what, that beast is still there lurking because it's a subconscious driver. That's the point. So we got tools and we got techniques and we got all these things that we use to overcome that, but you must understand first what the beast is, so then you can begin to catch that sabotage. You know, one of my personal beasts is the fact that growing up, I didn't feel validated, or let's say what I did was enough. Just, it's common, right? It's not super unique. And then I'd have a third grade teacher that would make a comment and just light my world up, and I can remember her name these days. Miss Stephan was an angel. And then there was another one down the road, and the drill sergeant saw my quality in basic training and gave me his drill sergeant patch. Only a few of us got that, and it made me feel like $1,000,000, you know? Because I didn't get that kind of praise from my hardcore, street-raised mom and dad. I mean, my dad was a bike gang member, for crying out loud. Like, they're not in the mode of telling you, way to go, champ. Good job, you know, daddy loves you. So that's a major part of it. And so out of that, we become adults, and maybe we chase sex, maybe we chase drugs, maybe we chase careers and promotions and status. Who knows? But that's the beast. There's a whole world formed around the beast, and they're teaching us that it's a good thing. That world is called the manosphere, and we're going to get into more of that. But the manosphere is everything toxic about healthy masculinity, if that even makes sense. It's everything toxic about manhood. And there's major leaders to this, and I'm going to be doing more profiles on that so we can put more, I guess we can sink our teeth into the concepts of what this is in a concrete way. But why does this matter to you specifically? Why today? Why does it matter right now? Well, because the beast is running your life if you haven't confronted it and taken the reins back. It's running your life. Your wife makes a simple comment and you snap. Somebody cuts you off in traffic. People are crazy. We all know people are crazy. But somebody cuts you off and that trigger gets pulled. Whew. That was a huge one for me, especially after Afghanistan with post-traumatic stress. It felt as though I was being singled out. My family was being targeted. And that's a whole other issue when you've got to overcome traumatic events from some of this stuff that we're now back into in real life, that it might look like I'm driving down a road where there might be a bomb or a gunman hiding in the bushes, but really I'm just on I-75 heading into town. Like, no one's there to gun me down. No one's there to blow my truck up. So that is something that I had to realize, that I'm safe now and I don't have to act like that anymore. If you have these repetitive patterns where there's reactiveness, there's passive aggression, there's avoidance maybe there's too much aggression in a lane in your life, the beast is running that. That's the beast's effect. So the beast isn't evil. The beast is what was formed in us to protect us. But the issue is, most of us are grown up and have grown in some wisdom and some maturity and some patience. Can't we lead our emotions now? The other night I was watching Washington Nationals play the Philadelphia Phillies. One of my sons is a pretty solid baseball player, and so every now and again I'll turn it on and watch. It wasn't even 10 minutes. Nathaniel Lowe, first base for the Nationals, comes up, and I look at this dude at the plate, and all of a sudden I got uncomfortable. I shifted in bed. I'm next to my wife. I looked, she doesn't notice, she didn't even notice. But I'm feeling uncomfortable, and I go, I literally tried to shake it off. And I'm like, whoa, dude, whoa. Because I had this tool called Radar. You can get it for free. We'll talk about that later. But Radar is a self-coaching system. It's an awareness accelerator when you don't have someone around you to point it out to you. Or like most of us guys, we really don't appreciate that stuff being pointed out to us. Very few of us enjoy that. But in this case, Radar is a tool that helps you do that. So the very first thing I did was I reflected, and I'm like, what is going on right now? I'm feeling uncomfortable. Why? Why? That question's very powerful. But it forces you to stop, pause, and take a look at what the root might be, if you got the balls to do it. And I do. So I did. And I looked at him, and I'm like, oh, that dude reminds me of that dude when I was a kid who was a bully. His body and even his facial features looked like this kid that used to bully me from time to time. I'm like, really? And immediately I smiled. I'm like, I have to, oh my gosh. And after that, let me finish that part where I'm like, okay, you know what? I need to write this down. So I took a note on it. And as I was doing that, I realized the man I am is not the boy that I was. The man I am is not the guy that feels scared when he watches a baseball game. In that moment, with compassion, I looked back on my younger self when this is happening, 10, 12, 14, and I'm like, why? Because you were scared. But it doesn't exist. Does it exist anymore? Is that due to threat? No. If he became a threat again, after 30-something years, could I handle it? Yes. Could I handle it non-violently? Probably. As long as he behaves himself. I know I can, because I have emotional mastery in that area. So I looked at that, I'm like, little dude, I got you. We're not under threat anymore. There's no more threat here. I don't need to avoid the baseball game. I don't need to avoid that person at work. You see where this goes? So as we understand where the beast is coming from, we can get a handle on the clarity of the steps that we need to take. And when one man gets free, a whole family gets to breathe. And in my case, my wife got to stop walking on eggshells. My kids got to stop walking on eggshells and wondering which dad they were going to get today. For your sake, where this is affecting you the most, if you have not addressed this. First and foremost, in your spirit. It is what it is. You're a mind, body, spirit creation, my brother. Face facts. You're not just a collection of biological cells with the sole purpose of inflating them and vascularizing them. Your sole purpose isn't to go perform a task for somebody so they pay you money. Your big purpose in this life isn't just to be a this, that, or another. You got a career. There's a family there. You might be married. You might have kids. You might have nieces and nephews. You might have little kids that look up to you on sports teams. Maybe you coach. Maybe there's other men that are peers of yours that are in your hobby leagues or doing whatever you're doing. Colleagues, who knows? This is critical because this beast is sabotaging everything around you at the moment where that particular thing could be leveled up, where you could gain clarity about the direction of your purpose, where you can be inspired by your vision, take the right actions without getting sabotaged and throwing a wrench in everything. I know you do that. And I know that tears the hell out of you inside. You might have even cried over this. Why do I keep doing this? How much longer will I continue to put my wife through this? Am I going to allow my kids to grow into adulthood with the kind of relationship that I'm establishing now because of my energy with them? These are the questions that I asked myself. A significant beast for me was combat, Taliban, terrorist threat. I'm not over it, but I thrive with it. I don't even survive anymore. Survive? I'm not interested in surviving. Jesus came to give me an abundant life, to the full, maxed out. That's the life I chose. That choice is yours. But I know one thing about you. You're meant to be great. That greatness doesn't always look like fame and huge promotions and bikini chicks hanging on your fake Lamborghinis. Most of us know that stuff's a facade. But you're also not meant to run around with steel balls hanging from the hitch of your pickup truck, overcompensating for the emotional weakness or the insecurities or the lack of control you feel at times, not being able to trust yourself. That is not the way you're supposed to be living. If you're ready to confront your beast, I want you to get a free discovery call with me right now. It's chat.adamk6.com. The link is in the description below. Are you done suffering? Has it been long enough? I had a mentor once tell me that we don't change until the pain of change is less than the pain of staying the same. How is staying the same going for you? I know it sucks. I know. Grab that free call right now, chat.adamk6.com. I can't wait to help you.